guys. Book talk for today is Sapphire Blue. I finished this last night at like 3 a.m. And honestly, I just started crying. I just started crying because I don't want Gwen to die. So first thing is, we're going to talk about the epilogue. The epilogue that's what made me cry last night. And that's because Paul is just like, if you don't keep Gwen away from the Count, she's going to die. I was just like, Paul, why? No, why? Why you gotta hurt me like that? The whole thing with Gideon just showing up like the way he did, don't understand it. And so much confusion. Like, Gideon helps Paul, but then he's also hostile to him. Okay, this entire book, Gideon is basically bipolar. He loves Gwen one moment, then just like despises her in the next, and then he's helping Paul one moment, and then he despises Paul the next. He's so bipolar. And the whole Gwen thing makes sense, but the Paul thing sort of doesn't. But the Gwen thing's only because the Count and Gideon freaking planned the whole make Gwen fall in love with Gideon so she's easier to control. No. Why? If anything, a girl is harder to control when they're in love. Even though, yeah, sure, if they're in love with a guy, then they'll do anything to protect them, but what the hell? At the end, I was just like, okay, Gideon has to love. Don't ruin my shit. But Gideon has to love her. The fact that the prophecies say that Gwen is supposed to die, and the fact that the whole love thing was predicted through Great Aunt Maddie's vision. Oh my god. The Gideon, the lion, just like basically swiping at the ruby heart, and then the ruby heart falling down the ravine and just breaking into drops of blood. It's all too much. Oh my god. It's all too much. Jerk off is, I'm just gonna, I wanted to punch him. I was suspicious on why he was being so nice. And then we get the meeting with him the next day, and it's like, what? No. Why? Why? And then we get the meeting. That's why he made Gideon play the violin, and so I really hate him. I really do. But honestly, back to the epilogue. Paul basically gave away the family trees. Now that dude forgot his name already. Lord wants to kill all time travelers. He gives that guy, family trees. The female family line and the male family line. And I'm very sure that man is going to try and make sure none of those people are ever born, and it makes me angry. I want some things Paul does, it just makes me mad. Some things he does, he's much like Gideon. And we don't even see much of Paul yeah, I still feel all these things, and the fact that at the end here, I don't know if I mentioned it in my Ruby Red because I haven't edited it, and I was just like trying to go on and on. I was just like trying to get everything out. It's just like about page 353, when Paul tells Gideon that Gideon has to protect Gwyneth from the Count, and Gideon's just like, I'd protect Gwyneth from anyone. There was an arrogant look in Gideon's eyes, but I don't know what that has to do with you. It has a great deal to do with me, boy. Paul had to exercise self-control not to come to blows with the lad. God, if only he had the faintest idea. Right there. That actually adds to the fact that, for my theory that Paul and Lucy are Gwen's actual parents, and the fact that Gwen's brother and sister have red hair and she's the only one that doesn't. It makes sense for Paul, dark-haired, to have to just like to be her father, her biological father, and Lucy to be her mother. Just okay. The demon ghost. Say he's a demon ghost. He's a ghost of a demon. Exumerius. This is how I pronounce his name. It's probably wrong, but oh well. It's just Exumerius. He's amazing. I love him. He's great. He's just great. He's great all around. I like Exumerius because he's just like, he knows all this stuff, but then he's just like, he's funny too, because a lot of the times where I laughed, it was from Exumerius's like misunderstanding of things, and him just like actually caring for Gwen and saying that, oh, Gideon's fine, and then people are over exaggerating, and I actually thought that was funny because it's just like, I liked how he just like spurts water whenever he's excited or happy or even extremely sad. It's great. But then Gideon was hostile there because it was Gwen that led him around a corner and someone had smacked him. I honestly, God, there's too many things to be wrapped up in that book. One book. There are too many things to be wrapped up. And that book is not even thick enough. I mean, this could have been longer. This even could have been longer. But all the questions I have cannot be answered in that book. It is not that much thicker than Sapphire Blue. It's just not. Sapphire Blue's a little thicker than Ruby Red, but Emerald Green's not that thicker than Sapphire Blue, and we still don't know a lot of things about everything. And it tortures me. I don't know if we have enough. I don't know how it's gonna really tie in all of my questions. Like, is Paul and Lucy Gwen's actual parents? Drunk Gwen was probably the funniest bits and pieces in this entire book. Funniest section is Drunk Gwen and her saying, her just saying things like, do you have a hairbrush I can use? And I was just like laughing my ass off right there, because the last time she was drunk, she basically just stood on Cynthia's bed and sang Breaking Free. I actually remember that song from when I was a kid, so yeah. That was funny. I like it when books like this, with the series aspect, decide to take a step back from the seriousness. And while in the seriousness, we're just like joking around and stuff. And even though there's all the seriousness with the fact that if Gwen screws up, it's gonna be so bad. But Drunk Gwen was great. Yeah. I want to talk about Raphael now. Raphael, don't really get to see him much, but he seems like he almost seems like a lot nicer than Gideon. Though Gideon's like bipolar, so he's nice one moment then jerk the next. So it's really hard to decipher who is nicer, but I like Raphael, even though we don't see much of him. At least he helped Leslie and Gwen with the whole coordinates thing. And once he said that it was probably coordinates, I remembered back to it. And I remember there was just an N and a W. Northwest. And I was just like, oh, he's right. And I realized that the second he said that, and I was happy. Just, yeah. See, I get some of it. Now, the thing is also I don't get this whole aspect of then the first soiree, then the next day at the ball. And I don't get this because it's the soiree, and then we have a meeting with the Count. But I thought the ball was after the soiree. Okay. It's confusing, but I guess the ball is in emerald green. And I'm pretty sure that the encounter with Gwen's self is that happened in this book on her third uncontrolled time travel is gonna happen in emerald green. I know it's going to. I have a feeling. And yeah. Anyways. I like the Leslie and Raphael thing going on. Yeah. I do. I actually ship them. I ship Leslie and Raphael and Gwen and Gideon, though Gideon's being an ass at the moment. Though he actually seems like he might actually love Gwen for real, and it's breaking my heart. But a question I really have is, what did Grandpa Lucas hide? I really want to know what Grandpa Lord Lucas Montrose hid in his house. Oh, okay, so yeah. Again, with Lucas, I like the interaction between Lucas and Gwen, and it's great, and I love it. It's amazing, and she gets to see her grandfather again, and I love it. I just love it. And I still don't know how her future self just wrote a note randomly to Lucas to tell him to meet her in that cellar and such, but oh well, I guess. Charlotte is very haughty in this book. She's just like this know-it-all, and I'm disliking her even more. But then there's also Giordano, I think. That's how you pronounce his name. Or Puffy Lips. I like to call him Puffy Lips. He's got like puffy lips, and I like that nickname. It makes me laugh. Especially since Xemerius, whatever demon thing, actually decided to call him Puffy Lips. But he's the one that came up with the Puffy Lips name, but Puffy Lips is just like so uptight, and it's like, oh my gosh, she's never gonna pass, and then, what do you know? She does it without a hitch. that is all I'm going to talk about now. That is the end of this book talk. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye! Zimurius.